Ever wonder how so many people succeed against all odds? Let's get into it. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go right into the commentary, okay? Or right into the show. So first up, before we get into the actual tea, we're gonna talk about Brandy. I think you see him on the screen, Brandy and Ray J, who recently reunited, brother and sister. We're so excited about it. So I want to share a little bit of a clip. So let's get into that. Just a sec. I'll share it with you in moments. Second here, and we'll get it going. Yes. So excited for these two people to finally reunite. Sorry, y'all, that was a short clip of them reuniting. I'm gonna play it one more time. Hold on just a second, okay? Let me play it one more time. Pretty short. So y'all, there we have it, y'all. That's Ray J and Brandy. So excited for those two to be together again. Yeah, they've struggled a while the last few months. Yeah, I know we've seen Ray J. I think I've seen him in a few interviews, and I one in particular, he was on Tasha K. Tasha K. I'm Wild with Tasha K. And she said something like affect like something related to Brandy. He just started going, and I was like, oh, that was so sad. So it is so good to see them together for real, for real. So yeah, so what happened is basically Brandy and Ray J reunited on the stage doing her Atlanta concert. You know, she's on concert with Monica, marking the first public appearance together after months of family tension. The siblings hugged, which we just saw in front of cheering fans. So kudos to those two for coming back together. It just shows you the power of forgiveness and reconciliation. So I am so happy for them. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now we're going to move into our actual commentary. So yeah, so kudos to those two. All right, let's gonna get into it here. So yes, y'all. So now we're gonna get into it. All right, so here we go. We're talking about celebrity wealth, Tyler Perry, 50 Cent, and Miss Cardi B. Okay, and the thing about it is the reason we're talking about it because it's so significant because these people didn't just get rich; they got wealthy. So we want to talk about that and say, how did they get wealthy, Miss T? They got wealthy by being smart. So we're gonna break that thing down and get into it, okay? All right. So let's start with Tyler Perry. Okay. So y'all know Tyler Perry is worth over $1 billion. Not from acting, but from owning everything he creates. I mean everything, right? So you said, how did he do it? Well, he owns the Tyler Perry Studios, which is over 330 acres in Atlanta. He is the first African American to own a major film studio outright. So kudos to him. Okay. And he made 29 Madea films. Now I didn't know he did that. I didn't think there were 20. I don't know, I thought there were like 10. But no, there are 20 Madea films generated over 1 billion because he owns the right to everything. Okay? All right. Now Tyler Perry didn't just create content, honey. He created a system where he controls the money flow. Every play, every film, every TV show he owns. And that's exactly why ownership matters. Tyler Perry built an empire by keeping content, control, and that's why he can make moves like he makes. So kudos to Tyler Perry. Now I know, speaking of Tyler Perry, one thing about Tyler Perry I do like though, whether you like his work or not, is that he always gives back to the community. He's done it over and time again. And he recently gave 1.4 million to the SNAP program, I believe. It's in Atlanta, out of Atlanta. So kudos to him for contributing and playing a strong role. And I think that's to me just leading by example. And I know other celebrities can follow, but I just want to touch on that because Tyler really is really good about giving back. And I think a lot of that starts from his humble beginnings. He understands, he can relate So kudos to him. Okay. All right. So yes, let's move on to our next individual, Mr. 50 Cents, Petty Patty. I call him 50 Cents Petty Patty, y'all. Petty Patty, the legendary, okay? So, 50 Cents um, became wealthy really from like investments. You have to remember the vitamin water. So basically the vitamin water offered him an endorsement, and he said, "Nah, I need equity instead." So bright, right? So where Coca-Cola bought Glossier Vitamin Waters parent company for 4.1 billion, 50 cents walked away with 60 to $100 million. The expansion used that money to build the G Unit films, produce the Power franchise, which is my favorite, CMS Audio, and real estate. And so 50 Cent understands something that some celebrities don't, and probably most celebrities don't understand, is that a check is temporary, but ownership is forever. Okay? So this is the difference between being paid and an owner. So 50 cents um, takes on a few million of his endorsements, but he always thinks bigger. And you know what, he really, really does, right? He does. I know some of his recent projects are 50 Ways to Catch a Killer. And I've yet to see that. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Now, my favorite all-time show, hands down, is Power, though. Okay, I am definitely a Power watcher. Um, I know when does Power Book 4 Force that came out on November the 7th. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get into it. Tommy is one of my favorite characters, so it's gonna be pretty good. I look forward to that. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on that, and I know I didn't mention, but I know 50 Cent has written books. He's done a lot of different things, but for being a businessman, he is definitely on top of his game. So I wanted to definitely touch on that. And yes, y'all, and last but not least, I definitely want to touch on that girl who, Cardi B. Yes, yes, yes. I want to talk about Miss Cardi B. Now, if you don't know, honey, Cardi B is worth $80 million through strategic diversification. She has partnership with Fashion Nova, Reebok, NYX, Marc Jacobs, honey, Skims. But here's the key: she negotiates ownership stakes. Okay, all right. Okay, let's get to Miss Cardi B. Okay, all right. So let's get Miss Cardi. There we go. All right. Anyway, y'all, like I was saying, sorry y'all, I had to do fix that, but let's go back. So again, like I said, Cardi B, she's worth around $80 million through strategic diversification. Now, again, I already told you who she partnered with. Let's keep going. Now, she launched fashion and beauty lines with Revolve Group, where she owns the intellectual property. Okay. And the thing we can learn from Cardi B, y'all, is that and she said it, I've heard her say it in plenty of interviews, that, honey, she's not just leaving land and those type of things to her children. She wants to leave her children a legacy. So she's building legacy. She's not just the face, she's the boss. So kudos to her. And y'all know she just had a platinum album, so there's that. And I've talked about Cardi B plenty of times, and I kind of touched on a lot of her journey and all the things. And she's just not a rapper; she's definitely building. And so, kudos to Cardi B for all of that. Okay, all right. So yeah, she's not just a rapper, and that's what makes her do her thing. So also, I want to connect the dots for you. The reason I picked these three people, because first of all, they all come from humble beginnings. That's one of the all three things they all have in common. They all come from humble beginnings, and I think that's what makes them so powerful and popular, right? And then the other thing is they always give back. All three of them always give back to the community in some form or fashion. If you haven't noticed, particularly like I mentioned, Tyler Perry, he gave back 1.4 million to the SNAP program. That's just one out of many. All three of them have given back. So the other things I wanted to know that I thought were noteworthy is ownership over endorsements. All three chose equity ownership over quick paychecks. Also, none rely solely on their original talent, like acting and music. Two of them are rappers and one is an actor. You notice they do other things. They buy land, Tyler bought a studio. They do multiple projects. They don't do just one thing. So, and then also building generational wealth. Their focus is not just on personal wealth. And lastly, honey, they control. They control the narrative in their money. All right. So there's that. So here's the tea, y'all. Tyler Perry, 50 Cent, and Cardi B all understand that fame is temporary, but ownership is forever. Okay? They didn't just want to be rich, honey. They want to be wealthy. And there's a big difference. And that's really think that's why they're lasting so long. I really do. So yeah, so y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Okay, if you're coming through the replay too, I'll be sure to say something. Let me know what you think about that. I just kind of wanted to touch on that. I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, because these three people have been in the game for quite a while, and they are still winning. So yeah, y'all, this is moving pretty quick. So we're gonna move right on into our trending topics. Okay, let's get on to our trending topics. Let's get on to that. Okay. So yes, y'all. Tonight we're talking about trending topics. Everything's going pretty quick. And first, let's get into our girl Lizzo. Now, y'all, I haven't talked about Lizzo in a long time. I haven't seen her in a long time. But yeah, I said Lizzo. Lizzo and her boyfriend, Mike Wright, attended the 2025 Baby to Baby Gala in glamorous outfits, okay? Raising a record breaking $18 million for children in need. All right. So Lizzo and Wright have been together since 2022. So forgive me because I didn't know Lizzo had been with him since 2022. I was shocked when I read this. I was like, what? And Lizzo emphasizes the importance of having genuine people around her and yeah, that knew her before her fame. I think that's smart. I think that's smart, okay? Lizzo has chosen to keep certain aspects of relationship with Wright private. I think that's a smart thing to do. Citing the need to protect their love from outside influences and potential destruction. And I've mentioned this on multiple lives and videos. If you don't know, you know how it's important that some things I don't think need to be talked about or listed on public social media. In my opinion, I don't think so. And I think that she's moving really smart by not giving or providing all information about her and her relationship status with her partner. I think that's the smartest thing she can do for real, for real. Because we've seen it, especially on reality shows where the couples come on the show, honey, their marriage, they go and they come on happy and all the things, and next thing I know, they're getting divorced. We're like, what happened? Because they brought all these different people into their marriages, and what you don't need is a third party. Okay, that's not what you need, because it causes a lot of issues. Okay, but anyway, kudos to Lizzo. Congratulations. Doesn't she look fabulous? Lizzo has had a huge weight loss. So if you don't know that is part of it, she looks beautiful. She looks fabulous, and I am proud of her. Okay, she's been on the struggle bus, but she finally hit it. So she looks great. So yes, now we're gonna move on to our next. And remember, y'all, this is just an update. So I'm gonna move on to the next thing, the next topic. The next topic, honey, is about our guy who, Mr. Sean Diddy Combs. Now, recently an article came out that Sean Diddy Combs was allegedly caught drinking homemade alcohol in prison, according to a report from TMZ. Well, I know when I heard that, I was like, that is not the way. I was thinking, what? So anyway, Combs' spokesperson addressed the report in a statement to People, saying in part that he has not violated any prison rules and that his sobriety and self-discipline are priorities. So there you have it. His representative said he didn't do anything wrong, so that would imply that he didn't drink any alcohol, right? Right. So on November 7th, when the report comes, shortly after Combs was transferred from the MDC in Brooklyn to the FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey. And I did kind of an update in my last live. I showed how he got his little gray beard, so I decided not to do all of that. This is simply like a trending topic / updates. We won't stay here long, okay? All right, y'all. Let's get into the Miss Kim. Now Kim Kardashian. Okay, let's get into it. Doesn't her outfit? I wish I got the whole picture. I think she has like a dress on. It's so pretty. But yeah, let's get into Kim Kardashian. Now, Kim, I don't really honestly follow Kim that often, but I was kind of reading through looking for tea, and I found an article, and basically Kim came out and she said, "Hey y'all, I didn't pass my I didn't pass the law exam." And I'm like, wow. And honestly, I thought she already had it. She didn't pass the bar, excuse me. She didn't, which is the exam. She didn't pass the bar. And she came out to let us know she didn't pass the bar. And at first I was like, wow, why would she come out and do that? But then I thought about it. I thought about it. Maybe she's trying to be transparent and authentic and all the things. But honestly, I'm sending her kudos, right? Because basically she's coming out and says, basically to me, she's saying I'm human. I didn't pass it, but what I really liked about her is she says I'm gonna do it again, basically till I get it. She said she's gonna take it again until she gets it. So all of that to me shows that she's working through whatever situation to get it done. So she's persevering. So that's why I really picked that because I thought that was pretty cool. And she's had a bit of a journey when it comes to being an attorney. She's been a bit of a journey. It's been a journey for her. I know she's done some advocating and a few other things, but the most important part is that I got out of it is that she's persevering through it all, and she says she's gonna take it again. Like again, I don't know that much more about I'm gonna say Cardi B, y'all. Miss Kim, okay. I mean, of course, we know she was married to Kanye, but that's not what this is about. But anyway, y'all, yeah, I do like the fact that she said she was going to take it again. So kudos to her for persevering. Now, y'all, I'm gonna do a wrap up, right? I'm gonna do a wrap up because that's it for tonight. It's kind of short and sweet. I will come back once I get more tea, kind of short and sweet. But for now, this is what we have. Okay. So, y'all, we'll do a quick wrap up. Let me run it back. So, first, y'all, we talked about Brandy and Ray J. Brandy and Ray J reunited. I'm so happy for them. I am happy for them. It's like brother. It's like having a brother and sister on virtual, like on TV. So kudos to them. Then we went right on in and kind of talked about our subject matter, which is basically talking about how these particular celebrities, there are multiple celebrities who's done it, but these particular celebrities basically build their empires. And I kind of discussed on how they did it and how they all were related. They all started from humble beginnings. And I kind of mentioned all of that information. So yeah, so check that out. That's what I talked about. And then I kind of moved on to some of our trending topics, y'all. We kind of moving fast today, but that is what it is. And I kind of talked about Lizzo because I didn't know Lizzo had a man. So there's that. And she looks fabulous. Then we talked about P Diddy. Now P Diddy is just a whole update. I did not go into a whole thing. In fact, one of the tea droppers told me they were tired of me talking about P Diddy. But we gotta give an update on P Diddy, okay? We gotta keep up with him. But I didn't go that much. I just tapped on just a little bit to talk about what his representative said. Moving on. And lastly, we talked about Kim Kardashian. As I said, she took the bar and she didn't pass. And she came out to tell us. And I was wondering why she needed to tell the world. But when I thought about it, it made sense why she told it. So check that out. Okay? All right. Y'all, that is short and sweet. Of course, I'll be back with another one when I get some more tea. I will be back. Okay? Remember, y'all, subscribe, share, okay? And leave a comment. All right? As I always say, we can't change anyone else, only can change yourselves. Focus on the things you can control and not on the things you can't. I'll be back with another one. Thank you and goodbye. Good night, y'all. Smooches. Night, night.